Item number 4 is an application for a certificate of appropriateness in the Borough of Manhattan, docket number 15-0033, block 572, lot 53, 19 West 8th Street in the Greenwich Village Historic District. A Greek Revival style townhouse built in 1845 to 46 and altered in the early 20th century. This is an application to modify windows installed without landmarks preservation commission permits.
Such a property is located on 8th Street, on the north side of 8th Street between 5th and 6th Avenues in the Greenwich Village Historic District. Here you see the building in the context of the block. This building began its life in 1840 as a row house, subsequently modified early 20th century with the addition of wood facade and multiple basement windows, as well as commercial space and second floors. The application today is to modify existing windows that were installed without LPC permits. As you see in the designation photo, it looks the same as it did at the time that the test photo was taken. But subsequently, the windows were modified over time. The current windows are paired single-pane aluminum casement windows. The proposal today is to install applied lanterns to the exterior of the existing windows, shown here in the existing and proposed elevations. And the architect is here to elaborate further and answer any questions.
I'm Robert Finger of Finger Architects. I would add what I think is relevant to add would be that the building is unique among its neighbors. It's quality modifications, as are the casement windows among its neighbors. The second floor is now residential, and the application is for the second floor to the 5th floor. Just wanted to clarify that. When current ownership inherited the building, the lintels had recently been replaced, and they found there was extensive damage among the windows on the top floor and on the second floor. And in their eagerness to replace them, they did that without a permit. The current condition are aluminum-clad wood windows with profiles that are similar to what was existing, and I think respectful of what was there in the designation photo as well. What is missing are muslins and what I would call an additional level of detail. We have, I think the most relevant image is the last one. We mocked up 6 light and 8 light. I think the 8 light is preferable. I think the exterior muslins give the effect that is most similar to the early designation in past photos. And the addition of the clear story has helped us rationalize the existing air conditioning units. One comment from the community board, which I thought was valid, was to orient the air conditioning units all on the same side.
You're going to do that?
Yes.
Okay.
What are the ones without, and how are they here?
They're aluminum and they're applied to the adhesive. We have a sample of that. One other thing I should talk about, there is at the location of an interior mullion, there's a wider exterior piece of trim. The application, and it's almost too flattering here, it's very flimsy and it's very unattractive. We specified a heavier gauge aluminum with a detailed profile to improve the aesthetic.
Okay. Okay. Testimony now will be back. Barbara Zagan.
Barbara Zagan, Historic Districts Council. While HDC wishes that this application had been presented to the Commission prior to the work being done, we thank the applicant for moving this building in the right direction. The restoration of the original fenestration pattern is a welcome improvement. Thank you.
Okay. Community Board 2 recommends approval. The landmarks committee, and yes, with the symmetrical arrangement of the air conditioners suggested. Okay. Anything else? Nothing further to say? Discussion?
applying solution to the problem. The aluminum grills are a little more substantive than the usual plastic ones that you get. I don't think it's a great precedent that we're setting that we would allow applique, but in this particular case, where kind of a remedy to an existing situation, there's some aspect of hardship associated with it, goes back fully, I think that would be okay. But I would ask, is there any ability to ask that the pointing that was done when they removed the stairs first to be tinted or something? That's, I think, much more egregious than the window situation. I would ask that.
Okay.
I agree. I think it's an appropriate design.
Okay, John?
I do too. It looks much richer than what was there.
I just want to add, I agree, but I want to add that these kind of buildings are all over New York. Often they are alterations of earlier buildings, as apparently this one was too. They're really ubiquitous, and they're generally unattractive and don't add much to historic districts when they're in them. Except now, when you look at, if you get the windows right, maybe they're not so unattractive as they mostly are when the windows have been changed over time and they degrade the whole experience. So I think this is heading back toward an early 20th century look, and I think it's going to be a big improvement, actually.
I agree with the comments of previous speakers, and I do think it's an appropriate solution, and also because with them to deal with the
Okay, Chris? Okay, hearing closed, motion second, Diana, please.
Okay. In the matter of a certificate of appropriateness, Borough of Manhattan, 19 West 8th Street, Greenwich Village Historic District. Application is to modify windows installed without Landmarks Preservation Commission permits. I recommend approval, finding that the installation of windows did not result in the removal of historic fabric, that the carried casement windows and fixed transoms match the historic windows in terms of operation, that the application of buttons will recall the multi-light configuration and replicate the profiles and shadow lines of historic buttons, that the black finish of the windows and proposed buttons will recall the historic fingerboard finish and does not call attention to the change in material, and that the applicant will work with staff regarding pointing and the condition that occurred when the lintels were replaced to cause that to be more appropriate for the building, and that the proposed modifications will help bring the facade closer to its historic early 20th century appearance, and that the windows, once modified, will not detract from the special architectural and historic character of the building and the Greenwich Village Historic District.
Second, all in favor? Approved, thank you, thank you. All right.